Donc, nous, on est prêts de notre côté. Guillaume, tu peux y aller quand tu es prêt.
OK, parfait. Donc, bienvenue tout le monde. Bienvenue à cette conférence de presse. My name is Guillaume Saint-Pierre from the Journal de Montréal, and I'll be your moderator. So, with us today, Sean Fraser, Minister of Housing. Donc, on a le ministre du Logement, Sean Fraser, avec nous aujourd'hui. Mr. Fraser will start with a quick remarks, and then we will go to questions. Monsieur Fraser, à vous la parole.
Excellent, merci Guillaume. Thank you everyone for joining for an update on the announcement from this morning. As part of the plan to address the national housing crisis, we'll be rolling out a comprehensive suite of policies in advance of the federal budget that seeks to do three key things: build more homes, support the most vulnerable in Canada, and make it easier to rent or buy. Today, we released a series of policies that are focused on the need to build more homes, and specifically to change the way that homes are built in this country. The announcement this morning involves more than $600 million worth of combined grants and loans that are designed to kickstart more home building in factory settings across Canada. This is important to do because we can build in many instances twice as fast in a factory setting compared to the traditional way. It avoids certain challenges around construction during a Canadian winter, and it also allows fast, safe, efficient, around-the-clock home constructing efforts, particularly when we embrace innovation and automation. Specifically, the investments today involve a few key components. The first is a $50 million contribution through the new Home Building Technology and Innovation Fund. This is meant to scale and commercialize new technology for use in home building factory settings, and we expect the first projects will be announced as soon as this summer. The second $50 million tranche is going to be divvied up amongst the regional development agencies who have a unique strength of knowing the industry players in each region in Canada. In my home province in Nova Scotia, we of course have the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, where we made the announcement in Calgary today, the Western Diversification Fund. These players know very well who the where the industrial factories are and how they can best scale growth. In addition to these two tranches totaling $100 million, we are going to be carving out $500 million from the Apartment Construction Loan Program to help drive demand for modular panelization or mass timber housing. When I talk to factories across Canada, one of the things that they consistently tell me is that they need orders with some volume if they're going to justify investments to help build out their factory. In addition to putting this money on the table for new technologies that will be producing homes for Canadians, we're moving forward with the housing design catalog. Today, the Prime Minister shared that we would be including up to 50 designs of certain kinds of homes beginning as soon as this fall. The different kinds of designs will span a range of different types of homes. It will include row homes, modular housing, fourplexes, sixplexes, and accessory dwelling units. This is important because it's going to help align the design through the home design catalog with the manufacturing capacity in communities, and of course with the announcement of tying as of right approvals to the designs included in the catalog. It'll also tie the design and manufacturing to municipal pre-approvals, which will dramatically shorten the total time it gets from design to a space that a person can actually live in. Finally, the announcement today includes a process that we'll be launching very soon to engage different stakeholders, including the private sector, organized labor, housing policy experts, and others, in developing an industrial policy around the home building sector that's going to help not just drive an expansion of growth in our housing supply, but also be focused on how we can create good paying jobs for Canadians at the same time. Those are the details of what was announced today, and I'm happy to take what questions you may have.
Alors, les personnes qui sont en ligne peuvent lever la main s'ils veulent poser une question. Oui, nous avons une question d'Olivier Ferron-Boissé de TVA. Un instant, j'essaie de donner la parole. Je n'ai pas la capacité. Attendez.
Je pense que tu l'as eu, Guillaume.
Ah bon, excellent. Vas-y.
Yes, sir. Oui, ben bonjour, Monsieur le ministre. Merci de prendre nos questions à nouveau aujourd'hui. J'aimerais en savoir davantage sur le catalogue. Euh, Plus précisément, à savoir comment ça va fonctionner pour l'approbation des concepts. Est-ce qu'il va falloir que toutes les municipalités approuvent, si on peut dire, ou pré-approuvent les concepts qui sont proposés dans le catalogue? Puis à partir de quand on peut s'attendre à avoir cet outil-là justement pour les constructeurs qui vont vouloir se soumettre justement à ce programme-là puis bénéficier des délais réduits?
Avant de commencer, Olivier, c'est difficile juste parce qu'il y a un problème avec l'équipement pour la traduction, mais juste pour comprendre l'essence de votre question, c'est sur l'enjeu le processus pour organiser le besoin d'approuver du logement dans le catalogue et la
Yes.
question. OK, OK.
I can say it again in English. I'll try actually.
OK, OK, merci.
I just want to know what will be the process for getting approval of those concepts. Will every cities will need to approve what you will be suggesting, or will it be made as a whole? And when can we expect to see that catalog available for builders?
OK, merci pour la question. Premièrement, je pense que le premier désigné, juste en anglais pour clarifier les détails, the first designs will be released as soon as this fall. We will reserve the ability to add additional designs based on feedback from the sector, from communities, from provinces over the course of the months and years that follow, should that be required. But we do expect this fall we will have the first round of designs in the categories that I've mentioned, including the row homes, fourplexes, sixplexes, accessory dwelling units, and modular homes. The process for approval, our hope is to get as much traction as we can as soon as we can. We announced earlier this week that in order to benefit from the Home Building Infrastructure Fund, we're going to be working with provinces to adopt pre-approvals of these designs. Of course, we have work to do because the designs will first need to be discussed with home builders and provincial governments and municipalities to ensure that the designs actually reflect the needs and opportunities in communities across Canada. There may be some regional variances based on what may be most appropriate. For example, the necessities to deal with a different climate in northern Canada or in St. John's could be significantly different than the lower mainland in BC or in parts of the country that have different climate or weather patterns. So that's going to be a process that we work towards. And we have already agreed, for example, with the 4 Atlantic provinces to have a chapter designated for Atlantic Canada. We're willing to be flexible in that regard with other regions in the country to demonstrate that we speak to local needs. We do want to ensure that there is as much consistency in design as possible so we can achieve economies of scale. But we're going to incentivize adoption not just through negotiation and hoping that other jurisdictions adopt it, but by actually tying federal funding opportunities for the provinces and communities who adopt both inform and adopt the designs that will be included in the catalog for pre-approval. So a builder will know if they choose one of these designs that are made available for free, they can quickly have it approved and constructed.
Okay, thank you for this. And just maybe a follow-up on a question that was asked to the Prime Minister earlier about some provinces being reluctant to comply with conditions related to the funding. Prime Minister reiterated that the federal government could deal directly with municipalities if the provincial government was not didn't want it to go with the program. So I'm still curious to know what will happen in Quebec since the law doesn't allow the federal government to deal directly with municipalities. What's happening here if the Quebec still doesn't want to comply with the condition related to the funding?
So I don't want to assume that provinces are not going to come to the table to make an agreement. With Quebec, I've had a brief exchange with my counterpart, and we will have a follow-up discussion on how we can work together to secure a deal that reflects Quebec's interests and the federal need to solve the housing crisis right across the country. In all of my engagements with Minister Duranceau, it's very clear that she too wants to see more homes built in Quebec to accommodate the very real need that communities across the province are facing. So we are going to work to say we're putting money on the table, but we do want to have our partners in those negotiations adopt pro-housing policies. To the extent that we need to work through challenges that different provinces may have, we're willing to do that, but I don't think it's unreasonable for the federal government to say if we're going to put money on the table to make it easier and faster to build homes, that the provinces who would potentially receive that money would adopt policies that also make it easier and faster to build homes. But j'ai une bonne relation professionnelle avec mon homologue au Québec. Alors j'espérais vous avez des opportunités pour avancer ces négociations, ces discussions pour obtenir les objectifs qui nous partageons.
Merci, Monsieur le Ministre.
Merci.
I don't see anyone else logged in right now, so I guess that's what end our press conference today. Mr. Fraser, you're free to go early.
Okay, I'll make my flight. Thanks so much,
have
everyone.
a good weekend, everyone.
We'll chat again soon. Bon fin de semaine.
Bye-bye. Thanks.